Hey there, what's up, everybody? It's Dr. Shazetta. I hope you guys are doing well. Just decided to pop the camera on for a few minutes. It's probably 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I'm in Tennessee in my childhood bedroom, hence the purple things on the wall. But I have been here in Tennessee for a couple of weeks taking care of my mom. Excuse the bags under my eyes. It's been a long day today. I've been up a long time today. But I've been navigating, right, this season of grief, um, really since October of last year. This is now March of 2025, so October of 2024. And just as I was getting to a place where I felt like I could take a deep breath again after the loss in October, um, literally like a week before, saying, I felt like I was finally beginning to get back to myself. Got the wind knocked out of me with the news of my nephew's passing. And that, along with just the season of life, right, as we're navigating aging parents and elders and generations that are passing on, navigating parenthood and trying to make sure that I'm doing that well and showing up for my kid, while also showing up for myself. But in all of that and in all of this, one thing that I'm learning firsthand is what it means to navigate seasons of grief. And I won't say navigate them well, but to try and give myself permission to sit with and in all that grief brings along with it. And with that, today has been a really challenging day. I was surprised yesterday. I had to go to Memphis for a meeting, a really short meeting yesterday. And since I was there, I decided to go by the cemetery to visit Bishop Byfield, because I hadn't been back to that place since I stood guard as they lowered and covered her, completing the ecclesial assignment on my life with her. And so the last time that I was there in October, I was on official assignment and didn't give or have the time or space to have my personal moment there with her. And so I went back yesterday. It wasn't easy to go back yesterday or while I was there, right? But even as all of those emotions welled up for me, and all of those tears kind of fell in that soil, and I said things to her that I needed to release. I didn't expect the weight, I guess, to lift off of my shoulders. Not completely, but I didn't expect, I guess, more than weight. I didn't expect the sense of release and relief that came from that moment. And in that, I learned a lot about my own self. But in that, I also wondered, how or if in moments of grief we have culturally taken away or stolen from folks the need and or ability and or permission to sit with and in grief, not toward the end of getting over it or moving past it, but toward the end of working through. I don't know what through looks like in terms of what's on the other side of this. I can't imagine that I would ever think of her and not miss her as much as I do in this moment. Still, there has to be something on the other side. I guess I'm sharing this because I have in ministry and maybe outside of ministry watched folks experience loss through death, through dying, through bereavement, through the separation of or loss of relationships with folks. I've seen folks deal with loss or experience loss, I should say, and be broken by it, but never have a path or a way toward being put back together again. I remember my god sister. I used to spend Christmases with my god siblings and family, and one of their traditions in their household was that everyone would bring a Christmas ornament to hang on the tree. And one of my god sisters brought this really beautiful decorative apple to put on the tree, but it had all of these little like faux cracks in them. And she brought the apple, and you had to tell what the ornament meant. And she brought the ornament and she hung it on the tree, and she says, "This is a cracked apple to represent my cracked up life." And we fell out and laughed about that, and we still laugh about it today. The thing about that apple, though, was that you could see the cracks in it. You could tell the apple had potentially been through some things. But that apple was whole. It was one piece. I could imagine that without the proper tools and support system, that folks experiencing loss and grief could remain shattered and in broken pieces. I mean, my new saying with folks has been grief has a way, and it does. It has a way of showing up in places and in spaces and at times when you least expect it, and without cause sometimes, and without triggers that just a thought or a moment of silence or seeing something or an old picture or anything could immediately trigger that grief. But without the tools and without a village and without giving yourself permission and time to embrace those moments, I could imagine that it would be easy to stay in a perpetual place of brokenness and sadness and anxiety and depression and fear of not having time to heal from one loss before you experience another. Kind of anticipatory grief or ambiguous grief. I want to say to you, if you are in a place where you are experiencing or have experienced loss, I'm not an expert, but what I want to say to you is that I am learning that it is important to give ourselves permission to feel and to experience and to process and to find our way through it in ways that ultimately can bring about some measure of healing while we look towards whatever may be on the other side of this experience in this season. I just wanted to share with you all, puffy eyes and runny nose and all, talking through it sometimes to a camera, because I can't really talk to it. Talking through it with people is, I feel, a different level of responsibility and conversation to be more coherent in my thoughts. But talking to this camera and just sharing in this space, it's a little bit more therapeutic, but I also hope that it's helpful to you all. Maybe more on death, dying, grief, and loss soon. But for now, I just wanted to share. I love y'all. I certainly hope that you'll share any thoughts that you have down in the comments if you're experiencing loss in any way. I certainly send my love and prayers to you and wish you the best. We'll holler at y'all later now.